Welcome to Movies with James, and today we are going to be talking about blind buys. I have an ongoing series here on my YouTube channel dedicated specifically to my blind buys. If you don't know what a blind buy is, I talked a little bit about what blind buying is in my first video of this series. I'll put a link up there in that description. But just to give a quick summary, a blind buy is a movie that you buy that you have never seen before. You may have seen a trailer, you may have heard about it from a friend, but you have never seen it and you just bought it. So today's episode, we are going to be talking about 2014 film starring Reese Witherspoon called Wild. My wife suggested this movie. She had seen it, so it's not a complete blind buy for me, but I had never even heard of this movie. I purchased it because it was on my wife's list. I watched it recently the other day, and let me tell you my thoughts on this film. I didn't think a movie about hiking the Pacific Crest Trail could be as engaging, as entertaining, and thought-provoking as this film was. So it follows a female character named Cheryl. Cheryl has been having a little bit of a rough go at her life, going through a divorce, some drug issues, just death of a family member, lots of psychological human nature issues. She decides to try to right her wrongs, put a new foot forward, and hike the Pacific Crest Trail, which goes from Mexico to Canada on the west coast of the United States. It's an 1,100-mile hike about. That's what at least the film makes it out to be. The film is great. If you like dramas, if you like films that really deep dive into that human psychological nature and how we cope with grief and grievances and how we handle all that stress of daily life, Wild does an amazing job of this. Like I said, I didn't think a movie about hiking for 1,100 miles would be as engaging, as fun, entertaining to watch, but Wild was an amazing film. If you have not seen this movie and you're into that type of drama, not necessarily action-packed film like the modern blockbusters, I would say it is definitely worth the watch. The 4K, I don't think you need the 4K. I don't have a Blu-ray to compare it to, but the 4K didn't blow me away with visuals. I thought they had a good chance with a lot of cinematography shots in there that could have really been better, but I'm not saying it's bad. I just think it could have been better with the amount of nature landscapes that they hiked through on that Pacific Crest Trail. I think it could have been maybe a little bit better cinematography wise, but all the shots work for this film really well. As for the film itself, I'd say I'd give it 3.5 stars out of 5. It's not a film that I'm going to watch all the time. I am happy to have it in my collection. Visual, I'd say I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Like I just said, could have been it had some better shots in my mind, but I think what they chose worked well for this film. Audio, there's not much to talk about in the audio sense. There's not many characters. She does talk to herself, kind of self-narrates a lot of the story. There is characters she meets and meets up with, but audio is not a big factor in this movie. With that saying, I think if you like that type of film, definitely check this out. I'm not sure if it's streaming. Maybe try to find it on a streaming service first before you purchase it. Here at Movies with James, we're all about physical media like always, so I definitely purchased the physical copy. Happy I purchased this. It is getting 7.1 stars on IMDb, so that's awesome. You know that's a good sign of a good film. Check this out. As always with Movies with James, put a movie on, find some good snacks, and have a good night.